Welcome back here on the Senior Network. We were talking with Jim Keith of Keith's Funeral Home about cremation and some of the interesting ways that you were telling us about the ashes. Give us some ideas of some things you've seen.
Well, I've seen some weird stuff, but I will say that the casket companies that don't sell as many caskets anymore, and the funeral homes that don't bury as much, they've all tried to come up with creative ways to make money, because there just isn't as much money in a cremation for those providers as there is a casketed burial. Right. So some of the things they've come up with is you can shoot them into space.
Oh my goodness.
You can put them in fireworks. You could put them in shotgun shells. You can turn them into diamonds. And actually, lifegem.com, if you go on to lifegem.com, I'm giving them a plug, they can turn your cremated remains into a diamond, and the cost is limited only by how big you want the diamond. Now, many people use their pets for that. You know, they just feel more comfortable turning their dog or cat into a diamond than a person, but they do it. And it's just kind of interesting stuff that people do. And I'm going to tell you very quickly the weirdest thing anyone's ever said. I made pre-arrangements in Altoona, Pennsylvania. We were all done. I was making it for this lady, and I said, what are we going to do with the cremated remains when we're done? And she says, oh, that's easy. I'm going to give them to my daughter and have her put them in the trunk of the car. And I bit. I said, okay, why in the trunk of the car? She says, well, you know, it snows here and she gets stuck, and if she gets stuck, she can just sprinkle my ashes under her tire. She goes, I've been bailing her out of trouble my whole life. Why should I stop when I die? And I thought, I don't know. I can't argue with that.
Hey, but it was important to him.
It was important. That's right.
Exactly. That's what matters. That's something else. Well, Terry, I know in your business, obviously, unfortunately, you see a lot of death and so forth, and that's got to be hard. I know even from our company, on the standpoint of even your employees, your staff, because they're seeing people for months and months and months and months. And so, as far as a company, do you offer any type of grieving process or counseling for your actual employees?
Yes, we actually do. We every morning on our morning call at 8:45 we pray, which is awesome. Yeah. And the chaplain that does the bereavement counseling, Robin, also we can go to that as well. But I mean, it's interesting how when you are around death, your heart does become a part of it, but as a believer, you learn that death is just another part of life, and we all get to do it. And you know, to live each day, you know, to His glory, and to make it all count is the most important thing. And as a company of people, we share that philosophy for the most part. And so it's sad because we lose someone here, but for that someone that passes, it's a glorious thing. And so we try not to be selfish.
I understand.
And it's easier to deal with it when you put it in those perspectives.
I respect that. You had mentioned earlier, I know you're spread out all over here in this area, South Carolina. Is there any other locations? Is it part of a national?
We are the third largest hospice company in the United States.
Wow, okay.
And so we're able to do a lot of really nice things as far as our nonprofit side. So in South Carolina, we have our office is actually in Ridgeland, that services our counties here, and then we have a Gaffney office, which is out, you know, Greenville, Spartanburg area, and then we have Charleston that covers that part of the state, and then our next closest office would be our Savannah, Georgia office. So yeah,
it made me think talking to you because you guys do so much. Are there volunteers that work with you?
Yes. Well, every hospice, according to government regulations, has to have a volunteer side.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes. And so yes, we do have volunteers, and we go into the communities and sing and sit with folks and you know, and do things like that.
Do the volunteers actually help provide some of like what home care does? Do they actually provide some of the daily care, or are there just more there?
We have certified nurses assistants for that are licensed to do the tasks and to do them correctly. So.
I understand. And speaking of licensure, Jim, I know we brought this up in the past, but I mean, as being a director of a funeral home, I mean, you're licensed under the state too, right?
Under the state. Of course, when I graduated from mortuary school, I had to get certified federally. By a national accreditation service. And then I'm a licensed funeral director and embalmer and licensed to sell pre-need. And so the state's pretty stringent. You wouldn't think, sometimes you think South Carolina,
right.
you say, well, you know, maybe South Carolina's not up there, you know,
like
with
a Massachusetts
right, or
something.
New York or
yeah.
Progressive or New Jersey, but you don't want to mess with South Carolina licensing boards, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, that's great for the customers and the clients and the patients, right?
It is.
I mean, they know they're getting regulated care, and it's the same in our industry. I mean, you know, we're regulated very highly in home care in South Carolina and Georgia.
Well, it's great for the consumer.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I was up in Delaware, which was terrible, and they didn't care. So you might be, you might be selling timeshares or cars or nuts and bolts one day, and funerals the next. And they didn't disclose, but South Carolina is really it's a class act when it comes to regulating the providers that need to be regulated. And I have nothing but good things to say. You know, they keep the funeral business clean.
Yeah. And how many years now you've been here?
I've been here. I've been here. We're starting our 3rd year in business. I've been doing this as a funeral director for 27.
27 years. Well, congratulations. And as always, it's glad to have you on the show.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for allowing me to come.
Sure. And we're out of time today,
Okay.
but we'll see you guys again.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us here on the Senior Network, where senior care experts come together. We'll see you the next time.